I'll tell you, just like everybody else, my book tour has been canceled, so I'm going to have to do everything virtually. Let's see what happens. So this is my new book, A Walk Down Abbey Road, and it's taken me 30 plus years to collect all these interviews from all sorts of different people talking about the Beatles and what they meant to them and how they influenced them. So we got everybody from Elton John to Billy Joel to Phil Collins, Roy Orbison's in here, Brian Wilson's in here, Donovan, we got, of course, Billy Preston, the Moody Blues, the Byrds, the Monkees. It goes on and on. Frankie Valli, David Bowie, Kiss, the Kinks, just on and on and on. And the foreword was written by Mickey Dolenz of the Monkees. So what I want to do is share some stories with you. I'm still collecting Beatles stories, even today, and I've collected so many over the last 30 plus years. But this one I got, about a year and a half ago. I was in New York at Jimi Hendrix's Electric Lady Studios, and I was there because Santana and the Isley brothers were releasing an album together. So I interviewed Santana, and then I went over and I interviewed the Isley brothers, and I got a great story I'd never heard before. So the first question's got to be, because this is something you talked about, they have a new album out with Carlos Santana and his wife Cindy Blackman. And they were just mentioning this, that there was an unknown guitar player that lived in your house for a couple of years and played in your band for about 6 months. How did that happen?
Wow, we needed a guitar player, and I was introduced to him, and it became one of the great friendships.
But where did you meet?
New York, I think 125th Street. Yeah.
I didn't mean to get that specific.
Right there.
But, so really, I know this is a repetitive, but did you have any idea that this guy's legend would still be talking about it 55 years later?
I knew he was the greatest guitar player we had at the time, and the rest is history.
Guitar players, what did you think? You were 11 years old when you...
When I heard him play,
yeah.
They got him his first Fender guitar. My brothers did. So he's left-handed. He plays it like this. When I heard him play, I had not heard of all the guitar players that I'd heard. You know, although I was 11 years old, never heard anybody play a guitar like that before. And he had a lot of stage presence and charisma.
Yeah.
He played, and he just played very well, extraordinarily well.
So you could tell first.
I could tell that he was a great player. The rest of that stuff, when Ed Sullivan had the Beatles on his show for the first time, and I'm sitting on the couch on the left side, and my younger brother Marvin's sitting on the right side, and Jimi Hendrix is sitting in the middle. When Ed Sullivan said, "Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles," there was no clap of thunder above our house. You do not know the future. You cannot see the future. And a few days later, my eldest brother Kelly had a meeting with all the members of the band and the brothers, and he said, you know, amongst other things, this English band has changed everything. And I think we're going to be all right, because I understand they do shout and twist and shout, which they did. And he said, I don't know what's going to happen, I mean, even for Elvis, but I think we're going to be all right. Now, they got two guitar players, but we got Jimmy. And when he said, but we got Jimmy, I looked over at Jimmy, and Jimmy was grinning ear to ear at that remark. You know, now, of course, for things that have gone over time like they've gone, like Marvin and I grew up to be musicians. Jimmy grew up to be this electric guitar icon. And we're on the record with Carlos Santana. You know, any other time you roll the dice again, and it would have been Isley, Carlos, and Hendrix on the same record.
Now, did I get that clear? You were sitting watching the Beatles and Ed Sullivan
The first
with
time.
Jimi Hendrix?
Yes. Yeah.
And they did Twist and Shout.
yes. Yeah.
What did you think? That's
I
our
thought-
song.
I thought they're doing the Isley Brothers song. That's what they. My friends on the playground said, you know, Ernie, the Beatles took your brother's song. I said, no, they didn't take it. They just been listening, and they liked what they heard, and I'm glad they did it.
Now,
you know.
did you ever hear, talk to John Lennon when he was alive, or have you ever
Paul.
talked to Paul McCartney about that?
Paul in upstate New York a few years ago, and I went up to him and tapped him on his shoulder, and he stood up and gave me a bear hug. It almost put me out of commission. And both of us are talking at the same time. And I said, Paul, you and George and Ringo and John, you guys are just wonderful. And he said, Ernie, if it were not for the Isley Brothers, the Beatles would still be in Liverpool.